saying that she heard for the first time that I said that a woman is like a Sefer Torah, that is, she's holy, she's like a queen, and she can't touch the Sefer Torah. I didn't say she can't touch. A woman can touch the Sefer Torah. But to read out of it and to do what a man does, she said it's the first time she heard that a woman is like a queen and two queens cannot be together, and rather she heard that a woman cannot touch the Sefer Torah because maybe she has her period or stuff like that. Nonsense. There's not one source in the Torah that you find that a woman is not allowed to be next to the Sefer Torah because she's in her cycle. There's no such a thing. That's a whole different thing. When the woman is not pure, because of her cycle, her husband can't touch her. But that has nothing to do with the Torah. Even a man is not allowed to touch the parchment. The men that touch the parchment, according to Halakha, are not allowed to touch the parchment. You want to move the parchment, you hold it with a talit or something. You're not allowed to touch the parchment. Unfortunately, nowadays, people touch the Torah like as if it's a toy. There's no respect for the Torah. Even men are not allowed to touch the Torah. What I'm saying is that, listen, first of all, in the Torah, there are many levels of explanations. This is called an acronym of what's called Pardes. Pardes is an orchard, but the acronym of Pardes is Pshat, Remez, Drash, Vesod. Pshat is what's called a simple explanation, and then Remez is a hint, and Drash is where you dissect it, and Sod is the secret. So there's explanations of everything. But the mystical explanation why a woman is not, the halakha doesn't allow her to go up to the Torah, not to touch the Sefer, is because she's holy. That's it. If she has her cycle, that's a whole different thing. But this is not why a woman is not touching the Torah. When they take out the Sefer Torah and they pass it around, the women touch the Sefer Torah, they kiss it. They can kiss it, but they kiss it when the Torah is covered. But that's not the reason. If somebody tells them, they don't know what they're talking about. And unfortunately in our generation, people say, oh, I heard it here, I heard it there. No, just yesterday somebody called me, and he told me, I heard that this rabbi said this, this, and this. So I said, without a source, it's not valid. If you want to say, people come now to a shiur Torah and say, the Zohar say. Yeah? Where? Pull the book and show me. 99% of the people who are standing here and say, the Zohar say, the Gemara says, they never even saw it. You want to say the Zohar says? Come and tell me which page it is. I want to see it with my eye, and then I'll see if it really says that. So in our generation, many people says, oh, I heard. When we were kids, there was a game, we called it broken phone, telephone shabur. I tell you something, you tell it to her, you tell it to her, you tell it to her. And that person is a completely different story. So a person sits in a shiur Torah, and then he says, I heard. No such a thing. The Torah is clear and obvious, and everything you want to quote the Torah, you say, this is where I heard it. This is where I learned it. This is where I saw it. You can't come and say, oh, I heard it. No, it doesn't work like that. Because 99%, I'm not joking, 99% of people, they stand, oh, the Gemara says like this, and this Midrash says like that. Show me. Show me the source. Not too long ago, somebody come and told me, it says in this Gemara like this and like that. I said, I never heard it. I told him, do you know in which page? Yeah, I know which page. So we pull out the Gemara and I read it. I told him, you didn't understand it right. Yeah, you're right. It says the words, but you didn't understand it right. But at least here we have a source. I can look and say, oh no, you didn't read it the right way. But most people, unfortunately, especially in our generation, people who become religious, unfortunately in our day, people, they became religious and 2 weeks later they become, the speaker of the town. And everybody comes to listen and they don't even know nothing about the Torah. And they come and they throw big titles and they totally mislead the people. And they teach all sorts of things that I never even heard of nonsense like that. And where I live, there's also a person comes, the city of Kabbalah, he teaches Kabbalah. He doesn't know nothing. He doesn't know nothing. He doesn't even know where it's it. How can you teach Kabbalah if you don't even follow the Torah? So, and the nonsense that I hear, what people go there, nonsense. So unfortunately in our generation people come, oh, in the Zohar it says like this and like that. Don't quote if you don't know exactly the page and that you read it and understood it. So people come and say, oh, I heard like this and like that. No, don't hear. Open the book, show me where it says in the book, then I'll believe you. Then I'll see. Maybe there's an argument between two sources. There's many sources. Rambam will say one thing, and will come a different rabbi and says, no, I don't agree with what Rambam says. But there has to be an explanation why he doesn't agree. There has to be an explanation. And sometimes he doesn't agree with one thing. Unfortunately, in our generation, everybody is Talmidei Chachamim. Everybody knows everything. Everybody knows the Torah inside out. And the reality is that nobody knows nothing. And they just throw things out there. And becomes a whole big confusion. And people say, but I heard, and that I used to teach, I used to live in New York. I had a group of Syrian men that every 2 weeks we had a shiur Torah. 40 men. One time one of them comes and tells me, that because we were talking about stealing in business, cheating in business. So he comes and tells me, I met a rabbi who told me that I'm allowed to steal from a Gentile.
What?
I told him, who told you that? He said, he didn't say the name, doesn't matter the name. He said, a certain rabbi told me I'm allowed to steal from a Gentile. I told him, are you out of your mind? Who told you such a thing? And I told him, who's the Meshuga who told you such a thing? Where does it say in the Torah that you're allowed to steal from a goy? It says, lo tignov. It doesn't say, lo tignov mi Yehudi. It says, lo tignov. You're not allowed to steal from a dog even. You're not allowed to steal from anything. Lo tignov is lo tignov. Don't steal. I told him, who told you such a thing? Here you have two sins, stealing and chilul Hashem. How dare you even, I can't even fathom. So people come and they're looking for the discounts. It's very easy to find the discounts. People look for the rabbis who give discounts. Why? Because I don't want to be so strict. Give me the easy way. So the same way, a lot of people try to find where to talk Lashon Hara about the Torah. So people say, the Torah, the woman, she's impure. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is a source to that. But I never saw any source that says if a woman, she doesn't get called to the Torah because of that. The point is that anything that somebody tells you, Baruch Hashem, we have bookshelves. You go, you open the book by yourself, you read it, and if you don't understand, you go to the rabbi and you tell him, I don't understand this line. What does the Torah mean? And you go by what the book says, not what somebody told you. And that's the problem in our generation, that I'm not exaggerating, 90% is wrong. Wrong. There's no source to it in the Torah, no source in Halakha. People are inventing things. People are giving themselves discounts based on nothing. People are now teaching and learning all sorts of nonsense. Now it's very popular. Everybody learns Kabbalah. Nobody learns Kabbalah, trust me. Trust me. My rabbi is a very big mikubal. He sells on himself that he doesn't learn Kabbalah. How can you learn Kabbalah? Nonsense. You can learn some terminology and some explanations. Yes. Trust me, I have Sifrei Kabbalah, you open it, you're not going to understand one word. One word you're not going to understand. So you can say some introduction about the concept or explain something. But people are distorting the truth already to a point that in our generation, the Torah that is delivered to people, most of it is not even true. And unfortunately, you see it in the internet. Everybody becomes a speaker. Person becomes religious after 2 weeks, that's it, he's a rabbi. He doesn't even know nothing. That's the bayah. And the problem is that Torah tells you, you want to really know the emet, you go to the book, open the book. You can't read, you go to a reputable rabbi that will read you what it says, and you derive your knowledge from there. Because bemet there's a lot of misconception in many, many different things. So that's the problem, that people are looking at religious people and they're saying, they represent God. They don't represent God. The Torah represents God. It's very easy to put a kippah on and to put a beard. You go to the source, you read from the source. What you don't understand, you find somebody to explain it to you, and then you see that the Torah is pninim, it's pearls. Everything makes sense. Everything is unbelievable wisdom. Everything makes sense. Tell now to a woman, I'm sorry, you can't come next to the Torah because you're a queen. Zelo kavod. Oh, now I understand. Why I don't have to put tefillin on. Why I don't have to wear tzitzit. You explain to a person why they... now makes sense. Lo elavta oti. You didn't put me down. You didn't insult me. You didn't make me feel like I'm like this. Torah is only about respecting human beings.